feel like fire in me, finna light a fire indeed. Light up entire cities with the glory of God, I'm dripping. I'm standing all with me, all other alls are empty. Better make haste to the great taste of the great faith, man, I got what y'all been missing.
This is Tommy.
This is Seth.
Nick, you there?
Where you at?
Nick's not here. Nick's not here today. Nick's actually our third string to this. He's has some contract issues, so he's not going to be here this week. But hopefully he'll be here next week, and we can get him in the show.
If everything clears up, he'll be here.
We'll leave it at contract issues.
Yeah.
But anyway, this is Good Fellaship. Welcome to the show.
Yeah.
It's our new podcast called Good Fellaship, a Christ-centered podcast from three average college students who have been transformed by the Lord.
I like that.
Yeah. And the name Good Fellowship, we actually just kind of came up with on the fly.
Yeah.
There's a movie. Now, this is kind of, it's a little cheesy of a name, but there's a movie called Goodfellas. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I haven't. I'm not going to lie here, but I've never seen it.
But the movie got 96% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, so obviously it's got to be good, right?
Yeah. I think it was like a 7-something on IMDb, but
IMDb sucks.
Yeah, we'll leave it at that.
We'll leave it there. But we kind of just wanted to break the bread here instead of break the ice, and we want to talk about the names of the show. So originally, Good Fellowship was one we really liked, kind of playing off Good Fellowship. As Seth said earlier before the show that we're good fellows, so why not go with that?
I like that.
And we like ships.
Yeah.
But we had other names like Non-Denom.
Non-Denom.
Yeah, we stole that one. We're not.
Where did we get that at?
A YouTube video by Trip and Tyler.
Trip and Tyler.
Yeah.
Trip and Tyler.
Yeah, but that's theirs. They'll probably copyright it.
Yeah,
So they'll probably sue us for this.
Yeah, that's probably the real contract issue.
And then we had Life's a Journey, which is more of. Yeah,
I like that. Just because of the fact Nick's not here right now, so he'd probably be giving us that look that none of you probably have ever seen, of course. But
it's an inside joke.
Yes, and if you go to his Instagram, you'll see it. But he uses that phrase all the time, and it's actually really cool. And but yeah, because Nick used it, we're probably not going to use it in our podcast.
Yeah, especially because he's not here.
Yeah.
But we also had Purpose Driven as a title too.
Yeah.
Thought that one was good, but Good Fellowship.
It just sticks.
It does.
Just sticks.
It does. It's hard to beat that. It is.
And we actually have a tiny little bat here too. So
that's true. We have a little Pittsburgh Pirates baseball bat that we're just putting out here for decoration, I guess.
Yeah, even though no one can see it, but I like it.
We're completely audio.
Yeah.
But so this is the show. I'm excited to be here. You excited?
I'm really excited. I'm glad we got this off the ground.
Yeah.
Yep. Got it on the ground.
We've been planning this for weeks. As you can tell, we've actually never done a podcast before.
Never in my life.
We've never actually talked before.
No. I hate listening to my voice, so this is going to be very awkward when we have to replay this.
Yeah, so we're probably not going to edit. We're just going to let it go and never hear what we actually said.
Yeah, it sounds good.
All right, but we wanted to talk about the goal of the show. I'll talk about a little bit. The goal of this show is to show Christ and everything, that Christ is the center of everything. And it's also to show that if you've seen The Simpsons, you'll know of a character by the name of Ned Flanders, and he's kind of this goofy, stuck-up, oh golly gee kind of Christian type. And that's what the world thinks of Christians, and there's nothing wrong with those people, but the truth is most Christians are not like that. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that.
Yeah, I think people don't think Christians can have fun. They're just this stuck-up, and a lot of times hypocritical people, but we just want to show the world that we're just these broken vessels daily seeking God, and we'll admit that we're broken. We can be hypocritical, but
I like that.
Yeah, but we just want to put God at the center of everything, and that's what we want to show true Christianity is.
So what do you have, Tommy?
What do I have? Why don't you go and explain what do you have?
What do you have?
Yeah, the segment.
Okay, well, basically all it is saying what you have for the day, what God showed you, what you've seen, like digging in Scripture, digging in your devotion. It's really simple. We actually got the idea a couple weeks ago at our leadership meeting, and it came from Sam Houston.
Yeah, a school, college in Texas.
Yeah, and basically they just started doing it. They actually did it for one specific guy to really help him in his community, and it just kind of it sparked from there. It took off, and they used it on Twitter. They use it on. I actually think they use it on Instagram a little bit somehow, but yeah, it kind of just sparked and took off. So yeah, that's it. Well, what do you have, Tommy?
What do I have? Okay, well, I was actually driving last night, and we live in the beautiful, beautiful state of West Virginia. Although most people here seem to hate it, I don't know why, but we had this big snowstorm yesterday, like a foot of snow. I freaking hate snow. Can't stand it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
especially this close to spring. I mean, come on.
I know we're there. Like the groundhogs already come out. We're there. Just give us warm weather. Whatever. Yeah. But anyway, so I'm driving and I'm looking. It's about 9:00 at night, and I look at the roads, and it's so beautiful. Like, it's so pretty outside. There's, I hate to sound like a poet, but the light is shining perfectly on the snow, just glistening.
I like it.
And so I'm driving there, and I get this thought in my mind of, this is really beautiful. And my next thought is, wow, I should take a picture of this, or I should tweet this, or I should Snapchat this to someone. And I could just feel God speaking to me and saying, why don't you just enjoy this for once? Why don't you just stop, feeling like you have to share it with the world and just enjoy this? And just kind of spoke to me of, how many times do I think of something or do something and I got to send it to someone, or I got to tweet it, or got to do something, and just kind of living behind my phone a lot of the times. And God's just kind of telling me now, just live in the moment. So I think the past day I've been trying to just live in the moment, engage in the moment, and just, appreciate God right now, because it's hard to appreciate God when you're on your phone all the time trying to, put it out there for everyone else to see.
So you said this day, how's this day been?
It's been good. I've just been kind of appreciating the moment. I've actually put my phone down a lot. That's something I really struggle with. Because there's always something you can look up, I guess. That's my, I feel like I always need my phone. But just everything, even on the drive here, I just appreciated the snow and just, enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And that's something I've never really done.
I like that.
Yeah. What do you have?
Well,
what you got?
Yeah, I just finished reading the whole Bible this morning.
Wow. Wow, you're one of those.
Yeah. No, I was
Skim
actually.
reader. Okay.
Yeah, I was in Psalms. I was reading, I think it was Psalms 10. But just to know that He's with me. What's really been on my heart the past, 2 or 3 weeks is I've been reading in most of the Old Testament, so in Genesis and just a couple different books in the Old Testament. But the word Emmanuel comes up, and Emmanuel means God with us. And that's really just struck a chord in me, and just knowing that it's not just something that was written in the book thousands of years ago. He's literally with us every single day in our battles, in our trials and tribulations, everything, even in the good. And yeah, that's all I have for today. But the main thing with this, I want to do this in my community with my friends, and just be like, hey, what do you have today, man? And just really get them, because if they don't have anything, that's gonna kind of get them to want to dig deeper, want to have what their brothers and sisters have, want to have something every single day that God's showing them. So I really like this idea from Sam Houston, and I hope it really takes off here.
Yeah. And what we'll do too is whenever we have guests on the show, we'll always ask them, hey, what do you have for the day? Or Nick, next time he's here, we'll say, what do you have for the day? Just to kind of get us moving, get the people motivated. And
totally unscripted, by the way. So
we're not.
Nick's going to know most likely, but our guests, we're not going to tell them. We're just going to be like, boom, what do you have? So
if you come on the show, be prepared.
Yeah.
Side note, Seth's wearing a blazer.
Yes, I am.
All right.
Overdressed.
So anyway, we wanted to move next to testimonies, just to kind of give you a feel of who we are as people and where we've come from, and why Jesus is our Savior, and why we put our trust in Him. Real quickly, we wanted to go over our sponsors. We're sponsored by. We have no sponsors.
We have no sponsors.
We have none.
We have Jesus.
We have Jesus, so we're going to thank the Lord today. And yeah. So Seth, you want to go first with your testimony?
Yeah.
Just kind of give a brief overview of who you are, where you've come from.
Yeah, I'm really not good at summarizing stuff, but we'll see how that goes.
Spark note it.
Yeah. Okay, well, I grew up in a Christian home. I accepted Jesus into my life very, very young age. I honestly was probably about 4 or 5. And I love that. I love the aspect that He's been in my life my entire life. And I can see that in the daily walk with Him. But obviously I've went through trials. I've went through major struggles in my life. But growing up in a Christian home really helped. I mean, having parents that truly, truly loved me, truly loved my brother, that was just a blessing in itself. Not to have, a broken home, not to have 2 Christmases, that kind of thing, you know what I mean? Yeah. And it was just such a blessing. And I've always had a really good relationship with my mom and dad. I can tell my mom anything. I can give it to my dad for a lot of stuff, and just a lot of unspoken. Like, we can just hang out and really not talk for a while and just be really chill. Me and my mom, yeah. Road to the Muslim. We'll talk about that later.
That's a story for another day.
Yeah, you can't spark note that. But yeah, I could go to my parents for everything. And then my brother, just to touch base on this, like I said, we both grew up in a Christian home, so he grew up in a Christian home alongside me. But I'm not gonna lie to you, we hated each other as kids. There's about a 4-year age difference, and it that really collided, and we, as kids, we did not like each other. I remember people would come up to me and be like, well, you realize, like, when you're older, you're going to love each other. I was like, I don't think so. But now, I mean, he's, like, almost done with college. I'm almost done with college. And we really do. Like, I mean, he's my brother. I'll do just about anything for him. I don't think we're gonna edit that.
We'll keep
it real. Keep it real.
I want the people to know we're real.
Yeah. Big crash. To whoever broke that, shout out.
Yeah, shout out to you.
Yeah, it's probably T-Quinn.
We're T-Quinn.
It was T-Quinn.
We're a low budget podcast right now, but we're working with what we got.
Yeah. So yeah, like we've grown a lot closer throughout the years. Basically after high school. But yeah, to get back on track, I grew up in church. Basically did pretty good. I guess you could say did pretty good within the churches. We were in and out of a couple different churches. At one point, we were in a small little Baptist church, and then in the sixth grade, I think. I don't know. That can't be right. I was like 10, I think, and I found the church that I can really call my home church now. Back home, anyways, back in a small town in Baker, West Virginia. Baker, what up? Yeah, actually, it's 30 minutes away, but it's a really small town, so you had to commute. But yeah, we found that church and we stuck with it. But then I think I hit the 7th grade, and that's where things kind of got real. That's where I really
puberty.
Yes.
That's what happens.
No, but the 7th grade, 6th grade, started playing football. 7th grade, I was playing again. It was my second year of football, so you're in the locker rooms. You're hearing a lot of different stuff. Like, there's a bunch of, preteen boys in a locker room together. It gets pretty real pretty fast. Yeah. So you start to think about different things. And that's really where I started struggling with a couple different things that I still struggle with in my life now. And it's still a fight, to this day. Something you pick up in the 7th grade from random people that you don't even know, and how it can still affect you years down the road. It's crazy, but to see how God's working in that and how He keeps showing Himself through that, it's truly a blessing. And then I get to high school. The 9th grade, Tommy, I really grew with God. I really did. I was really getting focused in my home church. And it was really awesome. But then the 10th grade came around, and I guess it was kind of downhill from there. I'm not going to say I never stopped believing in God. I always believed He was there. But with my actions, I just did not glorify Him. They didn't show Him in any way to others. And it wasn't good, man. And I got in my first relationship in the 10th grade, and yeah, it was very bad. It was a very unhealthy relationship, and I still struggle with things to this day because of that relationship. And nothing against that person. All's forgiven. But it's like I said before, it's to see how things, when they first come together and they first start, how they can stay with you and carry with you into your future. I mean, it can get crazy. But after that relationship, it lasted about a year and a half. After that, it was basically into the summer of my junior year. Started hanging out with a good group of friends. And then into senior year, I stopped hanging out with them, and I guess kind of gotten, not really a bad crowd, but I kind of just pushed off from everyone and kind of went at it alone. And I don't know, I wasn't in church now. Ever since my junior year, I wasn't in church. Because I got a job. I was a delivery driver and never had time to. It was always on Sundays that I worked usually, and never got to go to church. And the days that I did, I just wanted to rest. I didn't want to have to go 30 minutes to this church and have to come back midday and get ready for school the next day. It was just excuses like that. But yeah, I talked myself out of it. And then going into my freshman year of college, that summer before is when things really got bad. I started getting into the party scene, get into drinking, that kind of thing, and it just went downhill. I loved it. I'm not gonna lie, I loved that kind of thing because that's all that was in my life. Like, God was there, but I put the drinking, I put the partying, I put all that stuff before Him, and it was a very dumb mistake. But that actually went and carried over into my freshman year of college. I wanted to get into the party scene, but thankfully God had a different plan. I found this Christian ministry called Chi Alpha, which me and Tommy are in, and yeah, it honestly it changed my life. It really did. I mean, if you wouldn't have planted the people in Chi Alpha and on Fairmont State campus that touched me, I wouldn't be sitting here doing this. I wouldn't be talking about God, trying to glorify Him. I'd probably be out doing things that I shouldn't be, or might not even be here. So I thank God every day for that. Like, it's truly a blessing that He used Chi Alpha, that He used that ministry. And the main thing about that was when I got to Fairmont State, and got to college, and I was introduced to Chi Alpha. I was introduced to a good community of brothers and sisters that truly cared about me, and not only that, but cared about my relationship with God and wanted to see me grow with Him. And it honestly was such a blessing to see how they loved me. They wanted me to get closer, not only to them, but to God. And it really pushed me out of my comfort zone. I'm not going to lie. My freshman year, all I wanted to do was sit in my room and eat Cheetos and play Xbox.
College life.
Yeah, college life, swag. But that's all I wanted
We'll probably
to do.
edit out the swag.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
We'll keep
yeah, we'll keep it. We might edit this part out. But honestly, that's all I wanted to do. But a couple other people had different plans and always wanted to drag me out of my room, which I thank them for today, because now I'm not like that. If I'm not hanging out with someone, or if I'm not doing something, like, I'm bored and I don't want to do it. Now, obviously, I have homework I gotta sit down and do every so often, but other than that, like, I want to be hanging out with someone. But
Put up his phone, ladies.
yeah, but I think the main thing is, like, I like hanging out with Jesus. Yeah, that sounds corny, but my Devo life has changed drastically since I was, like, in high school. Basically because I didn't have a Devo life. I never read the Bible. I never tried to really dig deeper other than just going to church and raising my hand occasionally to a praise and worship song. That's the depth that I had. But now, like, it's changed so much, and I have such a better relationship with God now, and I keep just striving for more and more for Him each day. And it's truly awesome, and I love it. But, yeah, that's about all I have. I just want to mention my heroes. Just to be completely blunt about this, my parents, my mom, she's helped me out on so many different levels, so many different ways, and I've been able to go to her when she saw me in my lowest points, when I was at my weakest, and I was still able to go to her for things, and she's just truly been a blessing in my life. My dad, obviously. He's such a hard worker. Not that my mom isn't. She's a hard worker too, but he's such a hard worker. He's always there for me. We don't have that. Like I said earlier, like, we can just sit on the couch and chill and, like, not talk, and we're like fine with that. Or go hunting and, like, gut a deer together, like that kind of stuff. Like, we're the typical father-son type relationship we have. But he's such a blessing in my life. And then my grandma. I look up to her so much. I actually call her my Meemaw, but whatever. But I look up to her a lot. She's been a huge influence in my life and in my walk with God. And then, obviously, my number one hero is Jesus. I mean, my God is such a good God, such an amazing God. If I didn't have Him, He's an awesome God. Okay. But yeah, and He's done so much for me. He's blessed me with so many different things, and I love Him. And I just want to, that's why I'm doing this, to just be able to get the word out about Him and show how I love Him and show how Tommy loves Him, I guess, whatever. But yeah, that's what I have.
That was really good.
Well, that's not what I have. That's my testimony.
That's a different segment.
Yeah, that's a different segment. Yeah. But
yeah,
okay,
well, it's cool to see how much Seth has grown since college. I've known him for about 2 years now. Just to see how much he's grown from that, and he's used that testimony to motivate him even further and to help others as well. Because I know so many college students and people in general struggle with the same thing you've struggled with.
Yeah, and that's why I want to get this out here. I mean, a lot of different things that we struggle with. I want people like you all listening to this. I want you to be like, man, I struggle with that too. Once we get a little bit in depth about it, once I feel like our relationship is at that level, we'll talk about it. But yeah, like I want you all to be able to relate with us, and I think you're gonna be able to do that. But
Yeah, in the words of Mary J. Blige, nobody's perfect, babe. Nobody's perfect. But that we can't sing, but we're not perfect either.
no, we're not perfect.
You want to get that? Mary J. Blige is not perfect
no,
either.
not at all.
No.
Not at all. Her music's perfect,
She's close.
but
She's close.
she's close.
Sure. That was really good. Very, very encouraging, definitely.
Well, I mean, here's some tissues if you need.
Past tissues. We all got issues. All right. Well,
I like it.
we do mine now.
Yeah. Well, no, we're gonna go to Nick. Yeah, Nick. Contract issues.
Contract
Crap,
issues.
yeah.
Okay. sorry
Okay,
about that.
we'll go to you. I guess.
Sponsors? We have none. Okay.
Yeah.
So my testimony. I'll try to keep it really short because there's not too much.
'Cause
to say
mine was
about
really
it.
long.
Except it was long but good. It's very good.
Yeah.
I grew up in a Christian home, Christian parents. Actually, went to church about 2 or 3 times a week. I was in a youth group. I was always there on Sundays, and I went to a Christian school for 7 years. So I was like the prototypical, yeah, nothing. But yeah, so I should have been good. And honestly, I was always the kid who was like, I don't have a testimony. I have no testimony. I've just grown up like this. And I want to say, quick note: I pray my kids have that
Yes.
testimony. So when I have kids, I pray that that's their testimony.
Yeah, and can I just like touch base on that?
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
actually heard a Matt Chandler sermon where he's talking about that. He's like, people come into my church all the time and like kick themselves in the butt because they don't have that testimony of being a drug addict or out on the streets or something. And that's such a blessing in itself to not have that testimony, to see that God's already worked in your life to where you haven't. I mean, obviously, we're all going to stray away to some point, but not like that. Yeah, and just keep going. But yeah, I just want to touch base on that.
No,
That's
yeah,
awesome. Yeah, I
definitely.
hope my kids have that.
I do.
Also,
yeah.
little
And
Ramy. Oh, it's your kid.
Oh, that's my kid's name. Not yet, though.
No, not married.
So anyway, not married. But anyway, so I grew up at all this Christian surroundings, and I just never found Jesus appealing. It never clicked for me. I just didn't find it interesting. And my biggest thing too in high school, I was such an ignorant person, and not having that base of Jesus just made me so ignorant, especially with girls. Like,
Yeah.
man, I sucked. I was like, you heard that Pat Benatar song, "Heartbreaker"?
Yeah.
That was me.
Heartbreaker.
Yeah, Heartbreaker.
Dream taker.
I was
Okay,
like that on times 2, times 20, you know. So anyway, so I was just this ignorant little boy, pretty much, who just didn't care much about life. I was just very ignorant towards life. I just didn't care. I just kind of went through each day, whatever. My senior year, it was 2013 of high school. Just these changes started happening, and they weren't big changes. They're changes everyone goes through.
Yeah, puberty.
Puberty, yeah. Well, yeah. So just these changes started happening in my life. I just began struggling with this anxiety and worry all the time, and it just began to control my life. Honestly, 'cause I didn't know what was going on with me. I just felt terrible all the time. I didn't know what was going on, and eventually this led to a depression, and it was rough. And it was like 2 months in, I realized, okay, something's terribly wrong with me, and I'm pretty sure this is just depression. I just don't care about life. And to the point where life was just a burden, honestly. Like waking up in the morning, I knew I had to get through the day, and it was just going to be a struggle. And so I just kind of went through the motions for the next 3 or 4 months. And I remember in June, one of my good friends, Tyler Quinn, shout out, he got me into this journal called the Live Dead Journal. And it's pretty much, it's 30 days of going through Africa. What you do is they give you like a lesson of the day, and then they give you a people group to pray for.
Yeah.
And so I was like, yeah, I'll do it. He wanted to do it with me. And it was just in that journal, I just began to grow affectionate of the Lord and just realize who He truly was. And so I began to cling to Him. And honestly, if we're being honest, if we're being honest, I only became somewhat of a Christian so Jesus could heal me. Like that was why I was driven, was I was like, God, you're going to heal me. And that was my main thing.
Like a prescription to Jesus, basically.
Yeah, I like that. That's good, yeah. Jesus is the ultimate doctor.
Yeah.
But what I realized was that as the more I clung to Him, my depression and anxiety did not go away. God just didn't snap His fingers and it went away. But He used that period in my life to grow me and mold me. And over the next 2 years, God, I just saw slow but gradual healing. And so I just saw things in my life start to work out. I saw mindsets begin to change. And all of this, it's been a day-by-day struggle. God has just given me such an appreciation for family. He's given me true friends. He's given me a future. It's been cool to see how He's just transformed my mind because I've gone to Him, because I've went to Him.
Thank you for pointing at me when you said true friends. I really appreciate that.
I would have pointed at Nick too, but
Yeah, well, contract.
But with me, it's still a daily struggle. There are days that are terrible still, but
Yeah.
the Lord is always good in those moments. And just to see where I've come from,
Yeah.
I won't complain because it's amazing to see how He's
Yeah.
healed me and just brought my mind to where it needs to be, and just really build a basis on a life in Christ,
I like
not living
that.
for the world. And I think with just a quick note with depression and anxiety. People like to think it's like just keep your head up, kind of
Yeah.
thing. And that's nothing against people. They just don't know what other people are going through. The victims are going through. It's like keep your head up, keep your chin up, bro. It'll get better. Chin up, pup. And I think people kind of picture depression as this someone staring out a window at night.
Yeah.
Like it's just them at nighttime just staring out the window. It's not. It's this day by day, moment by moment struggle that honestly has to be walked through and has to be fought. And like I said, Jesus didn't heal me in an instant, but He's gradually transformed my life physically, mentally, emotionally. And I'm very thankful for that. And just through this journey, He hasn't just begun to heal me, He's revealed a lot of sinfulness in me and a lot of stupidity in me. And He's just, He's helped me overcome a lot of that stuff. And He's brought me to a place of joy, of true joy, not joy that I've tried to find in the world. And there's always been a scripture I wanted to read. It's Romans 4:18. And it's talking about Abraham, and it says, "Against all hope, Abraham in hope believed, and so became the father of many nations." I thought that was the coolest thing. It just says, "Against all hope, Abraham in hope."
Yeah.
So like there was no hope, but he still had hope. And
Yeah.
I think that's a word for people who are struggling with emotional problems and things like that. Just have hope in the Lord. Base your life on the Lord. No matter how tough the day may be, just trust in Him and that it will get better. And I promise it does. It's a slow rebuilding process, but God will be faithful in that. And so that's where I'm at.
I like that. And I just want to say that I was one of those people that was like, keep your chin up. Because
Nothing against it. I mean,
nothing against, like, for me, I just didn't know how to handle it until, like, I met Tommy, and I didn't even know it was an issue until his life till, a couple months ago?
Yeah,
And towards the end of the beginning of last semester. But to see how, like, that's something really he was struggling with, and it tore me up, the fact that I didn't know how to handle it. It's not something that you just go and keep your chin up, keep your head high. It's something a lot more in depth, and to really, I just kind of want to advocate just being that friend that doesn't just be like, hey, keep your chin up, but you're out there like fighting for him in prayer. You're fighting for him every single day, praying for him, giving them different scriptures that you feel the Lord's putting on your heart to give to them, and just fighting for him in that way. It's not bad to be like, hey, man, you're going to get through this. Keep your head up.
Oh, yeah, nothing wrong with that.
But just know that it's so much more in depth than that. And not only with anxiety, but any of our struggles, with God, anything's possible. He can't snap His fingers and boom, it'd be gone. I would say 90% of the time that's not how it is, because He wants us to grow and in Him and get stronger and trust in Him. So the fact that, like, it's not a snap of the finger type deal, but day by day, minute by minute, we are progressing. We're sinners, but we're still going to keep progressing and getting better as long as we're fighting and we're letting Him fight in us and work in us.
Yeah. Always remember too, the Lord is for you. He's not against you.
Yeah.
Like, He doesn't want to see you like this. He's not going to punish you by making you depressed or whatever. So He's for you. He's fighting for you, and He wants you, the best for you, and He wants you to enjoy life.
Don't think that some prescription drug out there that has 10 billion different side effects is going to be your answer.
Yeah.
You see it on TV and you're like, that's what's going to help my depression. And like I said, I don't know. I haven't really struggled with it, but I think you could agree with me, Tommy. That's not the answer.
Yeah, just taking a pill is not going to cure you. I'm not saying anything wrong with pills or prescriptions or medications, but that alone is not just going to fix you. That doesn't, it doesn't work like that. And like you said, there are terrible side effects to it too that I don't even know. I
don't think there's any side effects to Jesus. So
no, you're good with that.
Yeah. So it's nothing against the drug. It's just like, I wouldn't want to deal with the side effects. And then you are kind of putting your hope in that instead of really trusting on God and in God. So I would definitely suggest that. But
that's all
good.
you got.
That's good testimonies. What about you, Nick?
Crowd here, he left. I thought I saw his car outside, but apparently no, he's not here.
No.
All right.
So what's our next topic?
Well, every week we're going to try to get like a topic or a couple topics or some questions and just kind of go off of that. And since it's the first week, we're just trying to introduce ourselves, get a feel for who we are. But we kind of want to do like a preview, so to speak, and just give a topic, and I think the one that's been on our hearts lately has been Christianity on campus.
Yeah.
Just, is it welcome, respected, overlooked? What's it look like? Like, I don't know. You have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, for the most part, I would just go ahead and say that it's unwelcome. To be completely honest, on the campus that I'm at, it has grown a lot. The organization that I'm in, like to see different people coming in, it really has grown a lot. But walking around, talking to different people, seeing their reactions to different contact tables or different things that we do, it's just not there. They don't really have for the most part, I think that a lot of people on campus anymore don't have the desire to put their heart out there and go after God and to actually see who He is. And that could be for several different reasons, whether they've been hurt or just betrayed by someone or someone that they thought was a true Christian or a true friend or whoever like that. But yeah, I would say for the most part, it's just not welcome. What would you say about that?
I would agree with that. Just, I agree. I think it's frowned upon. I really dig Christianity. I think a lot of people see college as a time you do whatever you want. You know, you're away from your parents. You can find yourself and just mostly to have fun. So people aren't too thrilled when a Christian comes up to them and tell them about Jesus, and that's where the misconception comes in because a lot of people think Christianity is this dry, lame, rule following religion of the just don't do that, don't do this, thou shalt do that, kind of thing. We're just a bunch of rules, and that's just not the truth. That's not what Christianity is about. The rules that we follow, the thou shalt, thou shalt nots, they're not to keep us from living life, but they're instead there to help us enjoy life fully. Yeah. So, like an example, drinking. God doesn't necessarily forbid drinking, but He forbids drunkenness.
Yes.
Right. And so, why? Most people would say because it's not. He doesn't want us to have fun. But the truth is, look at what drunkenness leads to. It leads to destruction of your life, drama, loneliness, emptiness, hiding from who you truly are, hiding from your problems. Extreme cases, it can lead to rape and fights. It's just crazy. Like, it's more than just you can't have fun. So while college students say God won't let me drink because He doesn't want me to have fun, God says I don't want you to drink because I love you, because I want what's best for you. And so that's what true Christianity is. It's not these dead rules. It's just God trying to help you get the fullest life. Like John 10:10, it says, "The thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. I have come that they may have life and have it to the full." And that's Jesus speaking in the book of John. I think Seth wants to say something good.
Yeah, just like to touch base on what you were saying about the whole, I guess, having fun. I've had probably the most fun in my 3 years here on campus, just hanging out with my friends, doing, I guess, stupid stuff, but not ridiculous, like going out and getting drunk. Not that type of stupid stuff. Getting odds are to sit in a fountain in front of a grocery store when it's 12 degrees out. Yeah. Thankfully, I didn't have to do that. Or odds are you and Jill to do that snow angel when it was 2 degrees out. Stuff like that. Stuff that people really wouldn't see as fun because I guess they're drunk and you don't that's the main thing I want to get across. I've been there. I've been through that whole party stage, that drunkenness stage. A lot of it is to just have the story of what you did when you could barely remember it, and that's to me it's pointless anymore because I want to be able to remember what I did and be like, man, that was fun. It was very dumb and very stupid, but it was fun, in a good way, and in a way that's not stepping over what God's telling us to do, and it's not going against what He's telling us to do. It's just having good, clean fun. And that's why I like where you were talking about that. Yeah. I thought that was good. But
our culture has definitely bought into the lie that you have to be drunk or having sex or something like this to have fun, and that's just not the case. It's just, what does it always lead to? It doesn't lead to anything good. And I don't know. And I want to add too, a lot of people think Christians are just these hypocritical people who read their Bibles 25 hours a day or pray constantly,
I see what you did there. It's 24 hours.
24 hours
okay, I got you.
Or sit in a circle singing Kumbaya, holding hands. That's not true. That's not, we do read our Bible, and it's very important. It's important to pray and talk to God. Yeah. But we're not just, there's so much more than what people see. It's just living life. And I'm going to emphasize that throughout the whole podcast to come. We just live life. We enjoy life. We enjoy what God has for us.
And we do sing Kumbaya every once in a
We
while.
do.
But,
We
I
do.
mean, in a good, clean way.
We do. We love the song.
Yeah,
We can't
it's a
lie.
good song.
Shout out to the Indians who wrote that. I don't know who wrote it.
The Navajo tribe.
Yeah, shout out to Pocahontas and John Smith, which is a very generic name. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so that's just to answer the question of, is it welcomed on campus? To a degree it is, but I think it's mostly frowned upon
Yeah.
because people don't realize what it is.
Yeah.
It's not just rules, it's more than that. And you just have to experience it to truly understand it. You know?
And to be completely honest, as Christians on campus, we need to be fighting for those people. We need to be going out there, not being like, hey, come to my small group, come to my life group, come to this Christian organization that we meet every Monday evening. Not just that, but like, hey, come to my house. We're going to play Call of Duty or NCAA, stuff like that. Like, hey, we're going to go have fun. You want to come with us? And take them out to lunch, take them out to dinner, go to a movie, go bowling, stuff to show them that you want to be friends with them, that you want to truly have fun with them and love on them while feeding them God, like feeding them the Word, feeding them Scripture. But don't just be like, hey, you ever learn about Jesus? You ever heard about Jesus? Like, don't just like hit them in the head with the Bible. Like that's not how it has to be done. We can have fun and get the Word out at the same time. So definitely think about that when you're on campus and you're talking to some people that might not know about God or might and just don't want to know anymore.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to add a story. We had Seth and I. We went to Walmart at the beginning of the year. And we had an African kid all the way from Zimbabwe, and someone else in the car. I can't remember. But
It was a Haitian.
It was a Haitian. Yeah. But
shout out to HC.
Shout out to HC, who only 1% of the people on this will understand that. But actually, probably 100. Anyway,
Yeah, probably.
Probably that. So we're going to Walmart, and we just had such fun. You know, we're singing, we're rocking out. We actually rode by a party. It was like a Friday night. We played a song real loud just to like mess with them.
What was it? God's Not Dead.
God's Not
by
Dead.
Newsboys.
We are those Christians. We played that song.
Yeah.
We played that song just because we're having fun, you know, just goofing off. And I remember we got back to campus, and the African kid looks at us and he says, hey, I just didn't know Christians were like this. I didn't know you guys had fun. And that was just the funniest thing. And that was just so eye-opening to see that people just don't understand what's going on necessarily with us. Not to insult anyone, but just, you know, when you experience true Christianity and true Christian community, there's nothing better. It just fills you. And that's the best way to explain it.
Man, I can't wait, like, just as this podcast goes on, to be able to talk about some of the crazy, awesome, stupid, fun stories that
we got
have.
plenty. Yeah.
We have tons of them in, like, the 2 years that we've been together. Like,
And I live with my parents,
Yeah.
so and I still have stories, so that's just that. I don't know how that applies, but
Okay, so still on this whole Christianity on campus topic, I guess, what would it look like? What does it look like from our perspective? And you can go ahead and start us out on that. And then.
So I think we answered a lot of it, like what true Christianity is, what Christians actually look like on campus, and the biggest one, Seth covered it, is just fighting for other Christians. And I think as a Christian, you kind of have an obligation. Okay, now that God's been revealed to me, I got to help others see Him. I got to bring others to Him, and so it doesn't mean we're going around with the name of Jesus on our mouth every 10 seconds, which isn't a bad thing. I'm not going to
throwing holy water at someone.
Yeah, throwing holy water at people and stuff like that. But it just entering God in conversations when necessary, never forcing it on people, but just if it comes up, hey, talk about it, defend your beliefs. Don't be afraid to talk about it.
No, I totally agree with you. Don't be afraid to really fight for God. When you're out there and you're talking to different people about it, and they might just be like, "Hey, I don't agree with you. I just want to argue about it." You will get those types of conversations where you meet someone that literally just wants to argue against what you're fighting for them for, and it can be very awkward and very hard.
Yeah.
But don't stand just stand your ground. Don't back down.
Johnny Cash.
Yeah. And I won't back down.
We'll
Okay.
enter
But yeah, like stand your ground, fight for God in any way possible, but also realize there comes a time where you just need to stop arguing because it's not going to be beneficial to the other person. When you meet the person that literally just wants to argue, the best thing you can do is try to plant the seed in any way by talking about God, and then if if they're just like hating on you or arguing with you, just be like, okay, man, nice to meet you, walk away. And then you can still fight for them in prayer. You don't even have to know their name. Just be like, hey, this guy that was giving me a hard time.
Blue shirt over here.
Yeah.
Blazer.
Blazer. Yeah. I took it off. So.
That's wearing a blazer.
I was wearing a blazer. But yeah, like just fight for him. That's the main thing. And I tell you one thing that's really hard, and it's a concept I've struggled with, but I'm starting to grasp right now. When it comes to non-believers or people with different opinions than us as Christians, don't hate them. Don't dislike them. Don't just get by and be like, well, I don't hate them, but I don't like them. Don't do that. Fight for them in any way possible. Pray for them. Try to plant the seed by talking about Scripture with them, or if you can. But I would just say the main thing is don't hate them. Just fight for them. Fight for them in any way possible by praying for them. Telling your buddies to pray for this person, even if you don't know the name. Like Tommy said, a guy in the blue shirt, the blazer. Like, yeah, just fight for him. That was really a hard concept that I've been really trying to work on. But the main thing is, I think it was really hard just like getting on Facebook and seeing different people with their, because everyone on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram is very opinionated in anything that they believe in.
College is definitely a very opinionated.
Yeah. On campus you'll see it. You'll see people walking around with signs, and like, were you there when it was me, a couple other people, and we were talking? I think it was like raining, and these two guys came out of the campus with these signs, and it was kind of like an anarchy symbol or something. And you see the campus police like kind of walk behind them and be like, "Sir, you can't do that here." Like you'll see some very crazy stuff on campuses, and we're in West Virginia. Like it's not, you wouldn't think it'd be too crazy, but you definitely see some stuff.
It's not just hills and trees and
not
John
just,
Denver.
Yeah,
stuff happens here.
Yeah, who's John Denver?
John Denver
From
Colorado.
I think he is.
Yeah, I think
Denver,
he is.
Colorado.
Yeah, Denver, Colorado. Great place.
Yeah.
We're not sponsoring that.
Yeah, we're not sponsoring that whatsoever. But yeah, you will see some crazy things on campus. But
like you said, like love everyone. You know, it's hard. You see people who, they're not living right, or well, who's to say you're not living right? I think we're all sinners, and Jesus didn't just die for you; He died for every single person. And so I think once you get that mindset, you realize, okay, I need to love this person because God loves them just as much.
I think a big thing is like this is like our first time doing a podcast, so when you do a podcast, you probably should at least turn your phone off, or at least like put it away, because this thing has been going off the hook, and I think that we're not going to be able to edit that out.
Popular.
Yeah. Oh yeah, thanks. I don't know how that's going to work, but yeah. But no, that's good.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
We had pans. Someone dropped pans earlier.
Yeah.
Which is funny because there's not a kitchen anywhere near here.
Not at all.
I can't figure that one
out.
out.
What was that? Yeah, T. Quinn. But yeah, shout out. So what's our next thing? So we covered the modeling Christianity on campus, and we covered what others think of us. What are a couple other things that we see on campus? Like I just said, we not only Christianity, but you see a lot of different things on campus that, like, you're just walking, I guess, on the quad, and you'll see some people doing some different things. I know, like, there's always in the library, nothing against them. It's chill, but like there's always people playing cards. I don't even know what kind of cards they're playing.
I think it's like Yu-Gi-Oh, which I was a huge fan of back in the day. Blue Dragon. I don't think that's the real term. Oh, whatever. Go ahead.
Anyways, yeah, like you see them out there a lot. There's some. We have a very diverse campus, and that's really cool.
Yeah, and that's every campus too. It's not just.
Yeah. But I think the main thing is like that's, and this is just kind of going on a whim here. We kind of can sit here and be like, yeah, we see some crazy stuff on campus. We see people with like anarchy symbols painted to their chest and holding signs up. But honestly, that's what people think of us sometimes. Like that's what people think of Christians.
Like, hate us the most.
Yeah, like I remember when we were passing out water bottles the beginning of last semester, so fall semester. It was very hot out. This was like the first week, and it's probably like 90 degrees on campus, and we're passing out water bottles. And there is literally people not taking our free water bottles because we're like, I don't know, maybe a Christian organization. And I don't know, like, what's going through their minds? Like, oh, is this holy water or what? Like, am I
drinking something in this I shouldn't be drinking?
Yeah. But honestly, for the most part, that was a very good thing. And we had a lot of people, like, stick around and talk to us. So that was really cool. But, yeah, you always have people on campus doing different things. And I think a lot of times people think the same of us when we do that kind of stuff. Like, why are they? Oh, that's why they're doing it. They're passing out water to get me sick, converted, basically. But and another thing is we have on our campus a foreign exchange type deal where we have like a group of 100 foreigners that come from all over the world. I actually have 2 friends that are both from Haiti, and that's who we were talking about. No, 2 friends that are from Haiti and one from Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
And it's our campus is very diverse, but I tell you, those people, the people from different countries, are the ones that really want to know more about us, and that's such a blessing in itself. But then, for me, it's really heartbreaking just to see how they want so much more, and that's awesome. That's awesome. I'm so glad that they're coming and they want to see more. But then you have people that literally have lived here their whole entire life in the United States, and they're getting the word. They have the opportunity to get fed, but they're just not. They're not seeking God in any way, and that's what's heartbreaking. And to just to hope and pray that we can get back on campus and start reaching these people.
Yeah. And quick side note on the free water. I don't care if Satan himself is out there giving me water. I'm taking it if it's a hot day, And we should probably edit that one out, but I'm not. Cause I'm gonna be the one exception.
That's probably the only exception. If the devil and or Britney Spears is out there handling,
it's pretty close.
Yeah,
we love Britney Spears.
Shout out to Britney Spears.
Shout out.
But
Zoe.
She is not one of our sponsors. She is not one of our sponsors.
We love her.
We grew up fond of her.
We grew up fond of her. Well.
I think that's it.
That's all we got.
We're gonna ask Nick. What do you think about this?
We have Nick on the phone actually. Oh, there's no service where he lives.
So and no contract. So
no contract. Hopefully Nick will be here next week and we can get started with him.
Yeah.
That's all we got for today.
Yeah. I hope you all enjoyed this, and that's all we got for today.
Yeah. So tune in next week. We don't know when we're gonna post it, but good fellowship. Spread it around, tell people about it, and we hope you enjoyed this, 25, 30 minutes?
Yeah.
It's probably an hour, I don't know. There's no time here, so we're just guessing.
But we will get on a set time and put this out on, I don't know, we're probably going to put it out on every Friday or something like that. But we will inform you via social media or via. And that way we can kind of get you on a set time that you're like, oh, this show's on. But this was some pretty good fellowship.
I like this fellowship.
Good fellowship.
So we don't know how to end this, so we're just gonna keep rambling. Long live and prosper. Is that?
Good fellowship. Bye.
But there's a line in the sand. I flirt with one lady, man. My sisters ain't